we're going to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Sarah Palin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oklahoma. It is so good to be here. So good to be here where your state motto being work conquers all. Are you all ready to work to make America great again? You ready to elect the great next president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump? Well, good, because it's going to take all of us working together in this. And you all have a responsibility. We all have a role to play in this, and truly electing someone who will let us make America great again. You hard-working Americans, you patriots, you who know that enough is enough, enough of the status quo, it's got to go. In this great awakening, you all who realize that, man, our country is we're going to go to hell in a handbasket under this tragic fundamental transformation of America that Obama had promised us. No, what we need now is a fundamental restoration of America, all that is good and free and secure and exceptional about America. So we need to be in it to win it. And we're in it because we believe in America. And we can believe that our best days are ahead of us. But we're going to have to start doing things completely different. Things that over the last 7-8 years have gotten us into the mess that we're in. We need to elect a commander-in-chief who will respect our troops. A commander-in-chief who understands that we, as Americans, you here in Oklahoma especially, you love your freedom. And when you love your freedom, you thank a vet. You think of that. And then you realize that our vets deserve a commander-in-chief who will let them do their job and go kick ISIS ass. Commander-in-chief who will respect what it is that our forces go through and would never leave them behind. A commander-in-chief who would never lie to the families of the fallen. When I talk about a commander-in-chief who will never leave our men and our women behind, let me get a little bit personal on this. I'm talking about not leaving our wounded warriors behind also. Our wounded warriors who come home from the battlefield bringing new battles with them. Our wounded warriors, sometimes in body and in mind, coming back different than when they left for the war zone. I can talk personally about this. I guess it's kind of the elephant in the room because my own family going through what we're going through today with my son, a combat vet, having served in a striker brigade, fighting for you all, America, in the war zone. But my son, like so many others, they come back a bit different. They come back hardened. They come back wondering if there is that respect for what it is that their fellow soldiers and airmen and every other member of the military so sacrificially have given to this country. And that starts from the top. It's a shame that our military personnel even have to wonder if they have to question if they're respected anymore. It starts from the top. The question, though, that comes from our own president, where they have to look at him and wonder, do you know what we go through? Do you know what we're trying to do to secure America and to secure the freedoms that have been bequeathed us? So when my own son is going through what he goes through coming back, I can certainly relate with other families who kind of feel these ramifications of some PTSD and some of the woundedness that our soldiers do return with. And it makes me realize more than ever, it is now or never, for the sake of America's finest, that we have that commander-in-chief who will respect them and honor them. In fact, not 10 minutes ago, I was handed a military coin from one of your great residents here, a young man who is retiring from the military, and on the coin it says, we're a brotherhood that only a few can understand. I know that you understand. So Oklahoma, we need you to you need to share the message with the rest of America. And when you go to vote in your primary March 1st, you can make it a Super Tuesday for the rest of America by leading the way with the vote for the next commander who will respect our troops, who will give them what they are deserving, and who will treat our vets better than illegal immigrants in America. Well, we're in this together, and we're in it because just last week we saw our sailors suffer and be humiliated at the hands of Iranian captors, where we were made to apologize. And why was that? It's because of a weak-kneed capitulator-in-chief who doesn't know how to negotiate. And he has decided that, well, from now on, America is going to lead from behind. What the enemy was doing was sending a message to the rest of the world. And that message they tried to send was that, they will capture and America will kowtow and America will apologize. And then in the deal, we will bend over and then say thank you. What a deal! Only one candidate has that proven record of success where he masters the art of the deal. He is beholden to no one but we the people. He's beholden only to doing the right thing. And he is perfectly positioned to make America great again. Are you ready for that, Oklahoma? Are you ready to see the change? Like I said yesterday in Iowa, no more pussyfooting around. It is time. You deserve the best. Now, our candidate, he is from the private sector. He's not a politician, and here is where you say hallelujah. In the private sector, where you actually have to balance budgets in order to prioritize, to keep the main thing, our candidate knows that the federal government's main thing is to keep us safe, to keep us secure economically and militarily, and he's the one who knows how to lead the charge. Are you ready for a commander who will allow us to make America great as he leads the charge for us? Are you ready to finally secure our borders so that we can secure our homes and our jobs? Are you ready to stump for Trump? I'm here to support the next president of the United States of America. Now, 8 years ago, I had warned that Obama's promised fundamental transformation of America, it was going to take more from you. And it was going to leave America weaker on the national stage. And it's the one promise that Obama kept. But he didn't do it alone. He didn't do it alone. And the beauty of Trump's candidacy, as he has exposed not just the tragedy of that transformation, but also the complicity of both sides of the aisle that has enabled this transformation. He has revealed the system, which really is the permanent political class that is doing the bidding for their campaign donor class. That's leaving us out. That's leaving the average hardworking Joe six-pack American, that's leaving us out. Now that campaign donor class, what they need somebody to bid for, and it's happened these last 7 years, is to keep our borders open for their cheap foreign labor. And it's to bloat the budgets so that the crony capitalists, their friends, can suck from those budgets. And it's those lousy trade deals that our own establishment has approved, has sanctioned, that gut America's industry, and it shoos jobs offshore. His candidacy, Trump's candidacy, this movement, this force, this strategy proves that, shoot, as long as that establishment, as long as they get to keep their titles and their perks in D.C. and their media ratings, they don't really care who wins elections. Believe me on this. I've kind of been there, and I see how they treat those who go rogue like Mr. Trump does in order to do the right thing. You want to know proof of that? Even today, the GOP machine, they're attacking their own front runner and his base of dynamic, diverse, very patriotic supporters. They're attacking you because they can't afford for the status quo to go. Otherwise, the gravy train, it stops and they can't keep slurping from it. Not if things change the way that Mr. Trump and all of we know needs to change. He is the candidate that has the power and is in the position to bust that up and to make those changes that many of our own candidates that we work so hard to get elected and then we send them to D.C. that they promise to do, but then they get to D.C. and they don't even try to do it because they're all beholden to one another. That's the beauty of Trump's candidacy. The way that he goes rogue, we can trust then that things are going to be different when he's elected. Now, it's funny to be here in Oklahoma, here, the land of red dirt, you know, with your red bud trees. And here we got a redhead from the big red apple running for president, and yet the GOP machine, all of a sudden, they're saying, we're not red enough. We're not conservative enough. And I say, what in the world do they know about conservatism? Is it conservative to hand Barack Obama a blank check every year to fund Obamacare and Planned Parenthood? And to keep those borders open so that illegal immigrants compete for our jobs? Is it conservative to watch these safety nets turn into hammocks for people, many who just choose not to work? Is it conservative to allow, again, illegal immigration to produce millions of new future Democrat voters? That's not conservative. And is it conservative to bequeath our children trillions in new debt, trillions that they'll never be able to pay off? And is it conservative to not fight back for our solvency and our sovereignty? They now are concerned about ideological purity? Since when? We're not ready enough. Well, not every conservative has had the guts to talk about the real issues that are needing to be discussed and debated. Our candidate is ballsy enough to get out there and put those issues on the table, the issues that a lot of other candidates have wanted to duck and run from. Donald Trump, he's talked about the issues that matter, the issues that you and I talk about and are concerned about. Whereas there are some others who, nope, instead of wanting to talk about the tough issues, they wear political correctness like a suicide vest. It's so important that these big issues are finally debated. And that's another refreshing thing about this candidacy, because this election, it's not just your basic ABCs, anybody but Clinton. Not this time, it's even more than that. When we're talking about a nation without borders, a bankrupt federal government, no more Reagan-esque power through strength, then we're talking about our very existence here, friends. So they who say, oh, but now all of a sudden this base of support, well, they sound angry. I say doggone right we're angry, and justifiably so. They're telling us we need to just chill. And I say, they're stomping on our neck and they're telling us just chill. No, we won't chill. In fact, it's time to drill, baby, drill down on what's going on and hold them accountable. Are you ready to elect someone with the willingness and the ability to make that change that we need to change out that establishment and put you back in charge to take back our country? Oklahoma, are you ready to take back our country? Well, our candidate is a leader. He has spent his life truly there, even though, yeah, he's a multi-billionaire, and not that there's anything wrong with that. A multi-billionaire, but self-made success, so we don't envy that success. In fact, we root him on because he roots us on. He says to us, he says, I've worked very, very hard and I've been successful. Hugely successful, he says. And he says, and I want you to be successful too. So we root him on because he's the proponent of equal opportunity to work. And where but Oklahoma would you guys appreciate that more with your state motto, knowing that work conquers all? He will put you back to work. He has spent his life looking up and being optimistic and building big things that touch the sky, infrastructure that puts people to work. He has spent his life building up this success. So his power, when he's in D.C., it's not going to come off of opium, being high off opium, other people's money. That opium that other dopes in Washington sure get high off because they take it from you and then they distribute that other people's money. That's not Trump. His power, if you will, his passion is the fabric of America. It is work ethic and dreams and drive and faith in the Almighty, and that is America. Are you ready to share in that again, Oklahoma? The unifying values that he has and that he'll share more about with you all, his unifying values, well, they reach from big cities and tiny towns, from big mountain states to the Big Apple and the big, beautiful heartland in between. He finally is the candidate that we can count on to be the president for all Americans, and not divide and not race bait and not think that because you live in one zip code or you are of one color or you are of one economic class that you're any different than any other American. He is for equality. I want you knowing that the only thing standing in between you and hearing from the next president of the United States is me. So I'll get out of your way. But I want you to try to picture this, Oklahoma. Exactly 1 year from today, former President Barack Obama, he's gonna be packing up the selfie sticks and packing up the teleprompters and the Greek columns and all that hopey-changey stuff, and he's gonna head back to Chicago where he can look for some community to organize again. But from there, he'll finally be able to also look up. And when he looks up over his head, he's going to see that shining, towering Trump Tower. Because yes, Barack, Trump built that, and that says a lot about our next candidate, who will be the next President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. God bless you, Oklahoma. God bless the United States of America.